This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Business by the Numbers. I'm your host, Hunt Emeris, CPA with Parmelis & Associates. After months of work, my new book is out now called Wrenches to Write-Offs, Tax Tips Every Repair Shop Owner Should Know. And as the title alludes to it, we have put together what we feel is the core tax topics, and maybe not just topics specifically about write-offs and stuff like that, but kind of some principles behind this that every repair shop owner should know. I mean, this is like the basics. This is, if you don't know anything else, this is taxes for dummies and will make you a smarter business owner if you read it. I guarantee it. There's a couple guarantees in this episode. That's your first one. There are also a couple other cool things in there that I want to talk about as well. But the best part about this is, did I mention? It's free. Before we get into that, I want to have a quick word from our partners who make Business by the Numbers possible. Did you know NAPA TRACS is on-site training plus 6 days a week support? It all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice. Let us prove to you that TRACS is the single best shop management system in the business. Visit them online at napatracs.com. That's NAPATRACS.com. If you're looking for a full-service staffing solution that does everything from sourcing, qualifying, creating job descriptions, scheduling interviews, to negotiating job offers, Promotive is your answer. Visit them online at gopromotive.com. Like I mentioned in the opening, Wrenches to Write-Offs is out and available now. If you want a hard copy of the book, you can buy it online right now at Amazon. We also have the Kindle version that, as I record this, is not quite ready, but by the time you guys hear it, should be out there and ready to go. And yes, if you get it from Amazon, if you want the official paperback copy or the Kindle one, you're going to have to pay for that. And shockingly, we don't actually have any control about that. I got asked this the other day, or hey, happy to give you guys some money. When I released my first book, as with this one, this was never about money. And we honestly wanted to give this away for free. And we tried to put it in there for free, even tried to put it like really cheap, and Amazon essentially screams at you. But then I remembered, Amazon does pay me for when I sell those books, not 100% by any means, not even like 50%. They keep the other part. So if I'm selling a book for 99 cents or get away for free, Amazon's not making any money, and Jeff Bezos isn't going into space for free. So they're making us charge. Either way, though, if you do want the official paperback or your Kindle reader on it, rest assured that any cent that you pay for that is actually not going into our pocket at all. We donate all of this to charity. And this is probably a great time to mention this. We probably don't do as good of a job of putting this out there, but it's not really why we do this for the PR. It's to give back. But since releasing my first book, every single copy that we've sold, either the audiobook, either the Kindle version or the paperback, every cent of the money that we received has all gone to various charities supporting this industry and supporting the aftermarket. We've donated tools to trade centers. We've given direct scholarships to technicians to pursue their career even more. Yeah, and it's been an awesome thing, and happy that we're able to do this. Now, maybe you say, Hunt, I don't have a Kindle. I don't like that stuff. And you know what? I don't really need a fancy paperback copy of it. Or maybe you just say, you know what, Hunt? I haven't read this book, so I'm paying too much in taxes and money is tight right now. Can I have something for free? Well, do I have good news for you? If you go to our website, and in the show notes, the link to all of this stuff will be in there. If you want to go the easy button, don't want to Google this stuff, but on our website, you'll have the link there to download a PDF copy of that for free. There's going to be links in there that will go to some other resources and stuff like that. It's really pretty cool. You can also print that. You're going to have a PDF copy. You can do whatever the heck you want with. Give it to friends. Give it to another shop owner. Whatever you want to do. Hey, Christmas is right around the corner. What better gift than the gift of a tax book? But seriously, this is information every single business owner should know. And I wrote this. The more people that read it, the happier I'll be. And if I can hear, hey, you know what, Hunt, that was pretty cool. I knew all of this, but this little thing I never knew, and it saved me money or gave me better understanding of it. I love that. This is the reason that I spend all this time looking at this stuff. It's the reason why we spend so much time editing this. People are going to read it. People are going to enjoy it and hopefully get some information out of it. And if you do read it, I would love for you to send me a message. You love it? Let me hear it. Wish I would have put something in there? Hey, let me hear it. Hated it? Think it was garbage? Hey, shoot it over to me too. Also, if you do get it off Amazon, please leave a review. Hey, I'm not asking for a 5-star. If you don't want to make my head too big, want to give me 4 stars on it, I don't care. But seriously, the reviews are the biggest thing that gives it traffic to allow other people to see this and hopefully benefit from it as well. So enough of that. And by the way, I wanted to mention, John, I know you were asking about the Audible version of it. I saw that online. Audible version is not ready yet. We just finalized this one. Probably give us a month or two for the Audible one. That is actually a major undertaking and takes way longer than you would expect on it. But yeah, I know a lot of people like the audiobook version of it. I myself am a big audiobook guy. So yeah, in the next month or two, we will have that out there. I'll give you guys a guarantee. Before April 15th, we'll get that out there. Don't be lazy though. At least you can skim through this. You don't need to read the whole thing right now, but there's probably some tips here that could save you some money before the end of the year. NAPA TRACS was built from the ground up to make your business more profitable and efficient. They provide an extensive set of tools to increase and track profitability in real time. NAPA TRACS offers the industry's best wholesale support hands down. They train your people on site. Yes, on site. They also offer remote refresher training 10 times a week, and customer support is open 6 days a week. Give them a call, visit them, or join our Facebook community today to learn more. They'll prove to you that TRACS is the single best shop management system in the business. NAPA TRACS is always customized and tailored for your business, whether you're a one-man shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice. Visit us on the web at napatracs.com. That's NAPATRACS.com. Is your recruitment process draining your valuable time and resources? What if there was a partner who could take your recruitment efforts off your plate? Look no further. Automotive is your ultimate solution for hassle-free staffing focused solely on the automotive industry. On the web at gopromotive.com. Promotive understands the challenges you face when searching for the perfect technician or service advisor for your shop. That's why we've developed a platform that takes the hassle out of recruiting. Michelle Tanzi from Euroclinic said, "I am a shop owner and recruiting new talent is so time-consuming. Promotive does the majority of the seeking and recruiting. They reach out to the candidates for you, and when they feel they are a good match for you and culture, they make the connection. They follow up throughout the interview process, and we make sure that the candidates are a good fit and the shop is a good fit for the candidates. I admire that they genuinely want both parties to win. They recruited and paired us with a solid B-Tech and Master Tech. Both left a dealership position and are still part of our team. We are very happy with the character and culture match, and both technicians have become valuable team members. Visit our website at gopromotive.com today and join the growing community of shop owners who have found their ideal team members with Promotive." So again, enough about that stuff. Enough of us begging us for reviews. Why did I write this book? Like, where did this come from? What were we trying to gain out of this? Really, this is just foundational. This is core. And if you go down through a lot of the episodes I've done in this podcast, some of it applies to shop owners. Some of it doesn't apply to your shop. Some of it might apply down the road. The one thing that every single shop has in common is taxes. And also, more or less, the one commonality that everyone here listening to this, especially if you're self-employed, can probably agree with is you don't like paying taxes. No one likes paying taxes. I'm sure there's someone out there who likes paying taxes on it, but there's someone out there who likes to do anything. And a lot of this I have talked about in episodes. And even a lot of these chapters reference back to episodes that I've done and dive into some of the bigger details. But one of the things that I've talked about this on here before is there's some topics that are really hard for me to do and just explain to you like this. As I sit here and stare at my computer screen on this stuff, I'm looking at this stuff that I have written down and I'm trying to translate that to you so that as you drive into work, as you're going for a jog, as you're working out at the gym, that this stuff makes sense to you. And specifically when we get to tax and some of the more number-intensive stuff, I feel that actually having a visual resource to not only be able to kind of look at it and unpack, but somewhere to reference back to is a lot more valuable. And even if some of this stuff has piqued your interest on listening to some of these episodes, these chapters will actually get into a little bit different aspects of this and even get you some cool tables and little references that hopefully will make this sink in even a little bit more. Everyone should be dangerous enough in taxation to ask the right questions. This is not meant to replace your accountant nor advocating that you do your taxes themselves, but hopefully there's something in there that's going to save you money. And this is kind of a joke that I talk about a lot is, hey, you know what? I'm explaining to them there enough that, hey, you could probably go out and do your tax return yourself. You know what? I am not going to tell you that what I do is rocket science and you can never figure it out. Pretty much anyone that has some level of education can do their own tax return. The taxes that we're working on are not advanced publicly traded returns. These are pretty straightforward things. Does that mean that you should be doing your own taxes? Probably not. You do taxes once a year. Most accountants do them a couple thousand times throughout the year and probably been doing it for a long time. Just like your business. There's most of the stuff that you're doing for your customers that they could probably do themselves. But do you think that someone laying on their back in a driveway is going to do the same kind of job, a 30-year master tech with the proper equipment? And the same thing with taxes. Can you get it done? Sure. Are you going to be paying the correct amount of tax? Probably not. We just hope that you mess up in a positive way, not a negative way. And honestly, I will go as far to say that I am giving the money back guarantee stamp on this book. If you go and you buy this book and you don't save at least $20 in taxes, I'll send your money back. Seriously, unless you don't make any money or you don't read any of this book, I bet there are people that are going to save 10, maybe even 100 times that. What's the worst that could happen? You've probably spent 15, 20 bucks on much more silly things that didn't give you any value. Hunt, what is in this book? What do we have to look forward to? So I'm guilty of this as well. Like I said, people are always like, oh, do you love what you do? I'm not some weirdo that just loves to do tax returns or loves to do bank reconciliations, but I love to kind of challenge myself, right? I love to kind of go into detail. I love to be a problem solver. And honestly, that's what we're doing as accountants. Yeah, I'm doing a tax return, but what I'm doing is I'm advocating for my client to make sure that he's paying the least amount of taxes legally possible. And exactly with this book, this is not to get a bunch of people to download this and be like, well, Hunt, what the heck is going on here? This is real life stuff. This is real usable information that you can probably use in your business today. And some of the stuff you might already be doing now, you just don't understand why. I've seen these advertisements on Instagram. You have too. And like I said, I've been just as guilty, be like, oh man, this is kind of a cool book or this paper talking about this strategy. And what you generally find out is it's either just complete BS when they're advocating tax fraud, which is, hey, you know what? Kudos to you guys. You're going to be aggressive on it, but you could have also just written a book that said, hey, write a check to yourself, call it parts, and hope no one ever finds it. That's not tax strategies. You can do that on your own without paying anyone to do this. Or also a lot of these books, I've gotten them and I've read together and it's, all right, when are you guys actually going to get to the part where there's actual information? You keep on teasing stuff. You keep on promising different things, but you never actually come and give me usable information. So just like this podcast, it is very important for me not only to give you a better understanding and give you a better education of this, but also to give you tangible real life opportunities and how you can actually enact this stuff in your business. And some of these are specific strategies. We need to do X, Y, and Z. But a lot of this goes into understanding the principles that govern taxes, how to handle them, and also how to implement these strategies in your business to keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket. One of my favorite things to do is to try and find ways for my clients to legally, keyword here, legally, pay less taxes to the government. Seriously, we all know that they're going to waste it. Why are we going to give them any more than we need to? Personally, if your accountant doesn't have that same mindset, it's probably time to start looking for options. And no, you do not need to hire me, but please find someone else that was working on your team and not Uncle Sam's. I actually had a sales call a couple of weeks ago where I always ask people, hey, why are you leaving your accountant? And I'll be honest that a lot of times I talk about this and sometimes people have been with their accountant a long time just to make sure that they're doing a good job and they're not missing anything. And I wouldn't say it happens a ton because generally if people have a good accountant, they know it. If you have that feeling, you probably are right. But every once in a while, I'll be talking to someone and they'll be talking about how their accountant does, what kind of stuff they talk about. And I say, hey, you know what? You guys are free to do what you want. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to forbid you from hiring me. Sounds like your accountant's doing a pretty good job. You guys got a pretty good relationship. I don't think that you should make a switch. Now, other times, again, like I said before, it's, hey, I'm going to send you a proposal, would love to work with you, but just promise me, you don't need to hire me. Just don't go back to the guy that you were doing it before. Seriously, some of the stuff that I've heard is, well, why? It's not good to pay no taxes. Are you really paying your fair share if you're doing this kind of stuff? Sometimes I feel like that some accountants out there are almost working for the IRS agent, and it seems every single year filing your taxes is like you're getting an audit. Hey, what's this for? Hey, what's that for? No, that's not my job. My job is to not police you. My job is to educate you on the legalities of law, how you stay compliant with those, while also at the same time maximizing every single possible opportunity that we have to keep this money in our pocket. Being a small business owner, you get shouldered with a lot of taxes. And honestly, middle to upper class self-employed person is paying way more than their fair share of taxes. Seriously, think about your business. Making $200,000 a year net income, it's going to get taxed. Probably making 60 to 100 grand on payroll, that's getting taxed. Probably are paying 5 to 7 different employees in your business right now, paying payroll tax on all of that stuff. You're doing $1 million in sales. If you're in most states out there, you're also paying sales tax. Oh, by the way, you also got personal property tax on all that equipment there. You also got real estate taxes on your shop. Never feel bad about not paying any more than you need to on income tax. Believe me, you're donating more than your fair share already. This book is not meant to be an exhaustive list of taxes and tax strategies and different things, and really some of the more out there strategies aren't in here at all. This is meant to be the foundation, and what I always say is you have to walk before you run. And a lot of times I use that talk about financials. It's kind of funny. We get a new client that has absolutely no financials or nothing usable, and all of a sudden they want to go 0 to 1,000 and they want to look at this and this. It's like easy there. Let's get comfortable. Let's get the basics on this. Let's get our understanding, and then we build on top. Taxes are the exact same way. I'm not going to talk to you about conservation easement or generational skipping trusts until you have figured out how to save for taxes, how to forecast for taxes, and the importance of having a good team to fight alongside you. That being said, this isn't going to be about a home office deduction. This isn't going to be about writing off your kid's daycare or just these very elementary ideas. These are either going to be things that you might already be doing, but you just don't understand why, or things that you probably should be doing right now. Not to give up all the fun here, but a couple of the topics that we do cover, just to rattle off a couple, is entity choices. Should you be an S Corp? Should you be a C Corp? Should you be a partnership? And maybe does that need to change in the near future? How and when should you be forecasting taxes? Should you be paying estimated taxes? Okay, so how do you know if you are paying the correct amounts or when you should be paying those? Are all your deductions really as impactful as others? Where are my traps? Where are my opportunities? The ins and outs of taxation and how to leverage retirement accounts. We even do get into some of the more advanced topics like EV and solar credits, 1031 exchanges, which is selling your real estate without paying tax. Creative ways to give your team bonus money this holiday season without paying taxes, paying your kids, renting to yourself. Okay, you get the idea. Just read it. I guarantee there'll be something in there that you don't already know. And if you do know it all, probably a good refresher on some of the things that you might have learned in the past. This is one of the biggest things about taxes is a strategy that might work for you this year, might not work for you next year. A strategy that is no longer, or a strategy that just doesn't make sense for you right now at this level doesn't mean it's never going to make sense for you. Maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years. So if nothing other than kind of getting you aware of some of the questions, some of the pitfalls to be aware for in the future, then hey, I've done my job and I'm happy. But for most of you, this is real life stuff that you probably could be changing or implementing today. To wrap all this stuff up, I think you can tell that I'm pretty excited about this. I'm not excited to write this. I'm not even going to read this. I've honestly never read either of my books from start to finish. But to get this information out to people like you and the people that I feel need this. This industry has shared so much with me and so much with Parmelis, and I feel that giving something back is the least that I can do. Plus, this industry has shared so much with me, and I feel that giving something back is the least that I can do. Plus, let's not forget, it's not bad advertising vehicle either. If I can write a book or a couple, probably know a thing or two about a thing or two. On the other hand, I am probably one of the least pushy salesmen, and this is never done to try and break your trust or to get you to fire your accountant. Honestly, my goal here would be for you to read this and realize that you're already doing most of this and your accountant's taking good care of you. And maybe the couple things that you are not doing, you're able to have a good conversation with your accountant and discuss if these strategies make sense for you or your business, maybe now or in the future. If you trust your accountant and you can have that conversation with them and they have your back, don't ever leave them. That is a very valuable relationship. In all seriousness, there are plenty of people out there doing great work, and I'm happy to hear that. This isn't rocket science, and that relationship is invaluable to you and your business. On the other hand, though, if you aren't doing these and your accountant doesn't seem interested in diving into them with you, it's time to start shopping. As always, please share with friends. If you have any questions, ideas for a future episode, please shoot me an email at podcast@parmelis.com. Just want to say thanks again for listening on the Aftermarket Radio Network. You can find all shows on the aftermarketradionetwork.com and on your favorite podcast listening app. Thanks again for joining me on Business Not By the Numbers. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you all next week.
You've been listening to Business by the Numbers with Hunt Demarest on the Aftermarket Radio Network. Follow Hunt on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Hunt is all for advancing the aftermarket.